Hey guys, welcome to Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen. Um, Gonna do this butterfly mold today. Had this ages. Got it from Temu as usual. So I kind of thought I'd like to do the steampunk theme with it. Uh, Give it a go, see how it goes. Can't say that I've ever seen a steampunk butterfly before, but uh, yeah. So I'm gonna go and mix up my resin, and I will be back in just a tick. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back and I've got 30 grams of resin pro eye crystal mixed up. The 2-to-1 resin, so it's 10 grams of part B and 20 grams of part A. So, a little bit on the bubbly side, but that's okay, I can sort that out in a second. Has been sitting for a little while, but just going to put a very thin layer down. I've probably got far too much resin mixed up. Ooh, going way over there. It's difficult to get it into the tips of the antenna. So, as I said, I just want to put a very thin layer down for the first coat. Something in there. I'll take that out. 30 grams might be just about spot on, possibly. If I can get whatever that is out of there. Yeah, fluff. Got it. Right, so it's pretty much there. I'm going to give it a quick squirt of some 96% isopropyl alcohol just to release any bubbles. And I can actually see, I should have sprayed before I put the resin in because I can see a couple of bubbles just getting trapped in here. So I'm going to tease those out. Don't mind the odd little bubble, but I really wouldn't want them in the first layer. I'm going to drag that in, make sure that's right up into the edges there. I'm going to go around, make sure there's no more trapped bubbles caught in the edges. Put a tiny cog in each of the antennae and they're releasing bubbles like crazy. And make sure it's actually gone down into here. It's not a problem if it hasn't because I can get it on the next layer anyway. Got a few little bubbles trapped here and there. See one just there and another there. Okay, where did I put that? Honestly, just doing a quick, give it another quick blast. First, any bubbles on the surface. I think we are there, bubble-free-ish. So I've got these pretty little charms. They all came from Temu. I'm going to just drop them in here and there. And I want to put that down in the bottom there. This one looks like a little wristwatch, which is quite cute. Just fits in the middle there. I've got these that I want to pop into the little circles here and trying to make sure I get resin underneath them. May have to mix up a little more. There's less in there than I thought. Now that I've sat down, I can actually see places where it's not quite up to the top. So pop these in here. Don't want to put too much in the first layer because there's going to be 2 more coats of resin going in. I need to make sure I've got space for it. Try and wiggle these about a bit and make sure there's no air trapped underneath them. See a couple of little bubbles coming up already. I'm just going to give them a quick kind of try and lift them and drop them and make sure these haven't got enough underneath there, and I'm worried about bubbles there, but I'll mix up a little more resin in a second, give a slight bit more. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go off, mix up a bit more resin and top this off, just a touch, because as I say, I do want to leave space for another 2 coats of resin. So if I don't do it now, I don't know what I'm talking about. My brain's gone dead. Okay, so I'm going to go away, mix up a bit more resin. Oh, I remember. I wanted to pop these in and put one of these up in each wingtip. And these are all kind of clock watch themed for this layer. Yeah, definitely need a bit more resin down this end at least. The top seems to be reasonably okay. But yeah, probably need another 10 grams in there, so I'll go off and do that, and I will be back when we're ready for the next layer. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Ready for the next layer now. So I've mixed up another 30 grams of Resin Pro Eye Crystal, and I'm going to pop some of this. It's actually quite a coppery colour that doesn't show very well on camera. Just going to stick that in there and hope that it breaks up like it normally does. Probably should have used half a sheet actually, there's an awful lot in there. It's breaking up nicely, but it is kind of a bit too much, I think. I'll probably end up having to pull some back out. Okay, so I'll spray a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in there before I start. I'm going to drop this in, and there's definitely too much in there. I also need to be careful and make sure I have room for the back coat. Excuse me. Sure it's down. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. Okay, there's far too much of this copper in here. So I need to get, what am I going to use to get that out? Let's try my silicone tool. Scrape it to the edge and just kind of scoop it out a bit really. Because I want to put some cogs into the next layer. And this is just going to overwhelm the whole thing. I'll fast forward through this bit for you so that it's not too boring. You have very small amount of space for the back layer as it is. Because I've got too much of the copper in there now, I'm just going to pop a few small pieces in and hope that I get to see some of it. If I can get it underneath the metal flake. should be better. Hopefully. Okay. I don't want to overcrowd it. I'm just going to pop one or two more in and leave it at that. I'll kind of fiddle about with it. I need to prop this corner up. It's everywhere else seems to be fine, but this is almost at the top. So I'll fiddle about a bit more. Maybe take some more of the copper out if I can. And we'll be back to see you for the final coat. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. This is fully cured now. There's very little room in here, especially down these ends, because although I propped it up, the mould is still slightly lopsided. So I'm going to use this chameleon pigment paste that I got from Temu. It says it's red, purple, green, but it actually it's a really nice sort of coppery, bronzy sort of colour. Don't think it's very chameleon-y when it's mixed in with resin, but it is a nice colour. I've used it before. I actually used it as a backing on the steampunk frog. If you've seen that video, or if you haven't, check out my videos down below. What was I saying then? Oh yeah. So this does give a really nice sheen. It does need a lot of mixing in because it's for a change. It's actually fairly cool in my garage. It's only about 23, 22, something like that. So I've only got about 25, about 24 to be accurate, grams of resin pro crystal mixed up in this little pot, which should be more than enough for just backing this up. It takes a little mixing in, especially when you're as messy as I am. Got it everywhere, all up the sides of the cup. Don't really have any smaller cups apart from the tiny little these, which are kind of too small really. I'm not overly enamoured of the copper flake that I put into it, but hopefully it won't be so bad. Scrape this stick off. I may need a little more, and it's not quite as opaque as I'd like it to be. I don't know though, it's mixing in pretty well. I think that's going to do. So let's see how this goes, and if I need to prop the mould up again at all. Start with that, let it work its way out to the edges, and give it a little helping hand because I'm impatient. Okay, so while that's finding its way there, I'm going to try and, if there's any room in the antennae, I think they're full actually, apart from right at the very tip, so I'll just put a tiny little drop in to each one. Okay, we're almost there actually. Just a little drop more. Oops. Yeah, me and my little drops, eh? Yeah, the actual, apart from the blobs on the end, the antennae are actually already full of clear resin. So they're going to be disappointingly clear, but it's okay. I have got a tiny amount of the flake in there as well. I managed to push that up there. So that's about as full as it's going to get. I'm not going to spray this because I'm pretty certain it will overflow if I do that. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to use this little bit. I actually poured the leftover bits into this cat mould. Just pour a little drop of that over the top. And I've still got some left, so I'm going to pop that into another mould, and I will see you in a while for the demould. Laters. Hey guys, I thought I'd tag this one on the end here because I actually have somehow managed to delete the footage of making it. So it looks like I wasn't as level as I thought it was. I've got a little overspill there. So after I made the other butterfly, I showed it to a friend who was over here visiting from the UK. And she asked me if I could make this for her. And as I said, I would have shown you the footage of the other stages, but because I'm a dev, I've obviously deleted because it's nowhere to be found. I generally upload my videos to my Google Drive from my phone and then delete them, but I clearly deleted before uploading. Now you can see there's quite a bit of cleanup to do here, but I do need to wait until it's fully dry because it is still a little soft. I am very happy. I've got a couple of little bubbles here, which I'll need to fill with UV. But what she wanted was turquoise, and I hope that it's as she wanted. We'll find out soon enough, because she's still here. She's got a couple of days before she gets on her plane. So I'm I said, this is still a little soft, it's still a bit warm. So I'm going to put it somewhere to actually finish curing. I'll trim up the not so good places. I'll put hangers on it, get some photos, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.